Thanks for joining us. This is Sippin' Tea with Nat and Z. I'm Nat.
And I'm Z.
What's
Hello,
up?
hello.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Buenos días.
All those good things.
Yes, all those particular greetings and salutations.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What's
We
going
gotta.
on?
Nothing going on. I feel like I'm getting a little throat
Tickle?
thing,
Is
and
it throat?
I drank tea last night,
Mm-hmm.
and I accidentally drank caffeinated tea instead of decaffeinated tea, so
Oh
I
dear.
couldn't sleep. But then I got up early and cooked breakfast, which was really weird. Like I had a ton of energy, so I don't know what I'm operating on this morning. I just don't.
It's all
Yeah.
good. It's all good. Y'all, it was summer solstice. So it's like actually summer for the
Yes.
episode we about to talk about. So summer solstice was on the 21st, which is the longest day of the year. And the beginning of summertime.
Yes. We
Which
outside now.
we outside
We
today.
have herd immunity, and
Yeah. Yes, herd
we
immunity.
outside.
Because I just came back from New Orleans, and the one section of the plane that I was on, which was all black people, all of us had our masks on, still on the plane. And then there was the other section and another part of the plane that did not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm
needless
still
to
going to
say,
wear my mask even
yes,
after COVID when I fly, regardless of
yes,
whether it's a pandemic or not.
mm-hmm,
Just because airplane air, people
mm-hmm,
are nasty, and I
and
just don't.
recycled.
Yeah. So and everybody, well, not everybody, but every time I talk to someone who has gone on a trip that require them to get on a plane and go somewhere where they're interacting with a lot of people, and what I mean
Mm-hmm.
by that is like a lot of international flights. Like everybody that I know that's flown internationally and come back has gotten sick
Mm,
in some capacity. It may not be COVID, it's something else.
right.
So like my sister got sick, my aunts, when
Oh,
they
that's
went to
right. She
Paris, they got
did.
actually sick on the way, when they got there, which was crappy, right? It was your first
Yeah,
time actually traveling to Paris and you get sick. So
that
I'm
sucks.
be double masked up, okay? So
Yeah, I sure enough was. Me and the older lady that I was in the row with, we all had our little wipes.
mm-hmm.
That we wiped down the whole seat in front of us and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
me
I
too. I'm going to Puerto Rico in about 2 weeks, and so yeah.
Puerto Rico,
Oh, or
Puerto
it could be 5
Rico.
weeks depending on when y'all hear this.
This
When
is
y'all hear
true,
this, I probably will already be back.
and I'll be in St. Lucia in July sometime.
So
So we
yeah,
outside and trying to do some vacation
we
stuff,
definitely
but
outside.
be
So
safe out there in these streets.
yes. So let's go ahead and get into what we talking about today. Let's start with the
Mm-hmm.
tea on the table.
All right, all right. Y'all know the disclaimer, so yeah, y'all know it. But to continue our journey through places to have tea in the DMV, there's this place called Opaline Bar and Brasserie. Is that how you say
I
it?
think it's brasserie. In this
Brasserie, not brassiere.
brasserie, let's get it crunk up on in this brasserie.
So we're gonna call it brasserie. At the Hotel Sofitel, in their lobby. Very nice hotel. I've stayed there before on a staycation. It's in the lobby level. The brasserie puts a French spin on afternoon tea service, dubbed La Goutte. Now, I don't really know if that's how you say it, but today that's how we're going to say it. The experience includes loose leaf teas, sweet and savory treats, a la carte tea infused with cocktails, and espresso martinis. Hello. So, for those of you that would like to partake in adult libations, that is an option. And it's available on Saturdays from 2 to 4. You have to call and reserve within 24 hours. $65 per person and $32.50 for children under 12. So check that out at the Opaline Bar Brasserie.
The brasserie, yes.
Brasseria.
Now, for some hot tea, which I absolutely need right now. Ain't a lot. I didn't write anything down. I'm just going all off the old dome here.
Right, right.
Jonathan Majors had his first court appearance he came hand in hand with Megan Good, who apparently he is dating now, and the
Really?
internet has a lot to say about that. They do not like it. They do not like it for her. They feel like it's a PR stunt. I think I
Mm.
even maybe have talked about this
Yeah, you
before,
mentioned that.
and I was like, if there ever was a PR stunt, because I know they do this, I would. This would be the first time I wholeheartedly agree that it's a PR stunt, because this is just very odd.
Yeah.
Um, they were clowning him because he came into the courtroom, they said, with a boneless suit.
A what?
And they called it a boneless suit because it had no structure. Like, suits are very like, it's a suit. And they called
Yes.
it, said he came in with a boneless suit. Because it
Not
was
a
like a
boneless
linen,
suit.
like very like wrinkly, very like he's like
Like
thinks he's
something he
like
would have
this.
worn on Love Country?
Yes, very much Lovecraft Country. Very
Lovecraft.
much
That's it,
Lovecraft.
Lovecraft.
Very much
Oh
Lovecraft
wow.
Country.
Okay, I got a visual now.
And some people said they think that he wore it, like some people were just laughing at it. Then of course there are those who think deep, the very woke, who say he probably wore it to not look as threatening, as masculine,
Oh,
as, you know what
structure
I mean?
wise,
Right,
because he's
because if
so
you have a
built.
suit that is going to be tailored and fit, it's going to show off parts of your body that are fit.
Right.
And people, yeah, it did. So somebody's giving us a visual. It did look very like he just got off the plantation and had one of,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
That's a
So
visual.
so
That is non-threatening,
people said it was very non-threatening, and they think it was intentional. I'm going to tell
probably.
you, his lawyer is trash. I do
Really.
not like his lawyer's
Still the same one from
I
before?
don't know if it's the same one, but his lawyer's strategy is absolute trash. And it's a woman, which I feel like, like he, in situations like this when you are being charged with domestic abuse,
Hmm.
I don't think, if you get a man, people are going to be like, oh, here he is, a patriarchy, how are you gonna da 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 da. But sometimes I feel like if you get a woman, it's like, here you're trying to play on the sympathy of
Of
women. So I don't think you
right,
can win, or you can't win for losing in a situation like
right,
this. You really cannot. Like,
right. I get it tactically. They may say, well, if he was guilty, another woman wouldn't represent him. So is that
yeah,
that ploy?
yes. So that's what it's giving, and I just don't know. But that's that.
Hmm.
Beyonce will be beginning the second leg of her tour, which is here in the ghetto United States of America,
Not the.
the third world country of America.
Oh my
That is America. So she will be here in July. I think this tour kicks off in Philadelphia. I will be
Ah,
going in August to the DC, rain or shine. I'm hoping that it shine, because the last time I saw her, it definitely was giving, it's monsoon.
monsoon.
I was out there in a damn poncho.
But you still got your life though.
I did, and I will get my life
Hmm.
this time as well,
I
because
know you
poncho
will.
and all, I'll
She
just
looked
spice that.
amazing
Yeah,
at the thing at
yeah.
the Louis Vuitton.
Yes. Oh, so that's the other piece. So the Louis Vuitton show, where it was held, where Pharrell is the creative director, and all of the
Hmm.
stars came out: Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce, Jay Z. He actually performed.
Mm.
Rihanna was there, Megan Thee Stallion, Quavo, Offset, all of the who's who.
Right.
And in that, there was some controversy, of course, because why not?
Why is there
And
got to
I
be
don't know if I
controversy?
really, this might be one of the times that I'm like, sis, I don't know. So this woman took a Louis Vuitton bag, which creator, I've seen people do this. She's not the only person that's ever done this.
Uh huh.
So when you go to the store, you get the bag, right? You get the paper bag that they give you, the nice
Hmm.
structured bag. And all the big designers do it. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's an aesthetic, right? People like to post
Yes.
these things on their
And the
Instagram
infamous
page to show
orange
you that they are,
box.
yeah, they're balling out of control.
Correct.
So she had that Louis Vuitton bag, or Louis Vuitton
Vuitton.
bag.
That's our
And
French lesson, y'all. That's what we doing.
yes, because we butchered whatever that was,
Yeah.
brasserie,
Yeah.
brasserie.
Brasserie. Brasserie. Completely butchered that. My apologies to
To the French.
to the
Um,
French.
and so she took that bag and she created another bag. Like, I think she put it in like she just created another bag
Uh
from
huh.
that bag. And apparently the Louis Vuitton, Pharrell is a creative director, even though I don't think people understand the creative director doesn't necessarily equal designer. Like, he
Correct.
didn't
Correct.
design this stuff all that.
Right.
And she's
He
black.
oversees
She's a
that.
black woman, and she created it. And she said that they stole her look. And the bag is pretty similar. But the thing is, with copyright, with trademark, you took something. They literally could sue you
Right.
because you took something of theirs and created something else
Right.
without permission. So technically,
You just exposed yourself to getting sued because you took
technically, you
that.
could
Is she a
get.
designer?
I don't know what she is. She's a TikToker, and that's what a lot of people on
Oh.
TikTok do.
But you don't have
Um,
poetic license to do that with someone else. That's what I mean, copyright and
Well, it
trademark,
depends.
no?
There's like it's, and I would have to look into it, but the trademark, um, the structure of the bag, like
Mhm.
it's very nuanced, right? Because there are certain like structures of bags. You
Mhm.
cannot say that this you don't like. I could create a Birkin bag, right?
Yeah.
The Birkin, I've seen multiple bags that are shaped the same way as a
Well,
Birkin.
yeah, most designers have copied the Birkin bag style and put a spin on it on their own.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's no like fashion isn't, it's just very nuanced, and I don't want to say anything incorrect, and I don't want to uh start putting my work knowledge into this because
Right.
I don't want people to feel like I'm representing where I work. So
Yes.
I'm just going to say you need to be very careful and do your research before you do certain things like this to see if you do have the creative license like to do it, because
Mhm.
you're using somebody else's stuff to create something else, and you can. There's things called derivative works,
Right.
but the structure of a bag, there's no one has a license or trademark to a structural bag unless it's something that has never been seen and the function of it is totally different than anything you've ever seen. Again, all you have to do is look at a Birkin bag. There's
Yeah.
multiple bags that look like Birkins that aren't Birkins.
Yeah.
Chanel pillow bag. There are multiple bags that look like the Chanel pillow bag, and
Yeah.
that's and
All
don't
the
have the
Yves Saint Laurent
CC, but they look
bags.
exactly the
Yeah.
same. Steve Madden, let me tell
Yeah.
you, Steve Madden will copy every damn shoe. Steve Madden
Girl.
has Christian Dior slides
What?
that ain't Christian. These Christian Dior slides. I mean, I ain't these Christian Dior slides, and I'm like, but Steve Madden got them for the low low. So
Hey. Okay, okay.
I think that Steve Madden was like $90, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Christian Dior was.
Oh,
I think I can't remember if they were like 300 or maybe
something
no.
like
They
that.
probably were more than that.
They're more than that
I'm
for
getting them
Dior.
confused because I have a lot of slides
Uh-huh.
and saved, and the Christian Dior patterns were definitely in the save.
Mhm.
And Steve Madden got them for the low.
Hey. You might have to cop
So
that.
I'm just saying. But yeah, but that's it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the break and get back to the whatever we talk about today.
Right. Summer.
Summertime.
And we back. So, like we said, we outside, we talking about summer festivals and going zones, right? In the US of A. So, get ready, get your sunblock ready, strap on your little fanny pack, which can be very stylish nowadays. We can get a crossbody should you choose. That could be very, very stylish for your outside festivities. So there's some event hopping. There's some a thing called the Festival Pass, which allows you to have access to all these festivals throughout the U.S. And it can be from it's saves up to like 30% for most of the festivals in the US. And there's like 80,000 festivals that are going on this summer,
Yeah.
from musical, wine, like book. There's so many things going on that you can find stuff to do. And you can get it for $210 to 1,080 per year, depending on how you want to do it. And it can be like $99 a month and includes early access, no ticketing fees, some bonus tickets to other little events that you may not have that may be attached to those particular festivals, and some other perks and whatnot. There, you can go find it on SeatGeek, or what have
Mm-hmm.
you, StubHub, Vivid Seats, and some other sold out events. So it gives you, priority information to all of that. But check it out. It's called Festival Pass that you may be able to use for the rest of the summer, since summer is now officially started as of the 21st.
Yes, yes.
And going into some of the first festivals or focus that we are looking at are the Black music festivals
Yes, and
going on this year.
yes. So some of these have already passed. So I'll go with the ones that have already passed so that you are aware of these for next year. You can put
Mhm.
these on your list. You have the Roots Picnic. That was the first weekend of June, which was June 2nd and 4th.
Mhm.
That's held in Philadelphia. It's, it's the
The
group. It's
Roots.
their picnic. They had Lauryn Hill, Diddy, The Roots, of
Mhm.
course, Little Uzi Vert, if that's who you like, Dave Chappelle. Those were some of the headliners. It's at the Man in the Fairmont Park.
There wasn't there
Um,
like a Fuji reunion
it
at the
was,
Roots
but it
Fitness
will be
this
no
year?
more because Praz about to go to jail. So,
Oh, that's right. I seen
so
that.
that's some tea too. He about to go to jail.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Uh,
The Governor's Ball Music Festival has passed. That was in June 9th to the 11th. That's in Flushing Meadows, Corona Park. That's in New York. This year's headliners were Lizzo, Little Uzi Vert. You're going to hear about him a lot. So Kendrick
yeah.
Lamar, Odessa. I think it's a more where I think Roots Picnic is more urban centered, and I hate using that word, but let's just say
Yeah.
urban centered.
Mhm.
I think the Governor's Music Ball is more like everybody. Come on
Got it.
in, just like Coachella.
Ah,
um
got it.
Bonnaroo, the same thing. Bonnaroo is like Foo Fighters, um Kendrick Lamar, Odessa again. This is in Manchester, Tennessee. That was held the 15th through the 18th. The Hyde Park Summer Fest, which is in, where is that at? That is in
Chicago.
Chicago. That is mixes good music, good food. That happened June 17th to the 18th. They had headliners there as well with the Clips, Two Chains, Robert Glasper, Little Kim. Um, but then, if you missed that, because we already have passed that point,
Mhm.
July, the Taste of Chicago comes up. So when you want to experience some food, Taste of Chicago is great. I've been there. The food is delicious. It's
Mhm.
crowded. So if you're still not, there's always a lot of people. If you're and Chicago can be hot. If you're
Yeah.
not one of those people that likes heat and people, this is probably not going to be for you.
It's
None of this
probably
is going to be
not
for
for
you.
you.
None of this actually is going to be for you. Um, of course, Essence Festival is soon approaching.
Mhm.
That is something that a lot of people have gone is basically now dubbed the Auntie Festival.
Yes.
Because mainly aunties go, and I'm cool with that because there's a vibe and a certain demographic
Mhm.
that I enjoy that will be there, and I don't have to worry about the riffraffs, and
Yes,
it's
and the
always a good
ratchetness.
time. The ratchet. Um, it is in New Orleans. There was a year
Mhm.
that it was not held in New Orleans. We know why. It was
Right.
because of the Hurricane Katrina. And I actually
Mhm.
went to the one after that, which was in Houston.
Mm.
So I haven't experienced the actual New Orleans one, but I
Mhm.
will soon.
Yes.
Um,
We claiming that.
yes, I'll be there. Yes, yes, I
Yes.
will be there. Um, it takes place the 4th of July weekend. It is
Mhm.
definitely a place where Black community gets together, the party with a purpose.
Mm.
This year's headliner, there's always a lot. New Edition seems to always show up. Janet
Yeah.
Jackson, Nicki Minaj. I think she was there last year as well.
Yeah. I think
Um,
so.
is this a new one? No, This is old. I think this is from last year. I think this is
Oh, this from last
because I
year?
don't think Nicki Minaj is there. Maybe she is, but I know Megan Thee Stallion is going to be there
Uh-huh.
this year. So I don't know if they would have Nicki and Megan, but hey, who am I to say?
Oh. Well, I
Uh,
don't understand why we can't have them share the same. I mean, she could be on another stage. Aren't there like 6 million stages? Because I've never been to Essence. But isn't
um,
it set up like
there
different
are multiple
stages for
stages,
multiple
yes,
stages?
but you know how people get their ego and they're like, well, who's the headliner? Am I the headliner? I should be the headliner. You
Have
know
you
how
have a
things.
job?
There's
Thank
a
you.
main stage, so who would be on the main stage? You know what I
Right.
mean? Um, there's a Summerfest in Milwaukee. That is June 22nd, 25th, June 29th, July 1st, July
Mhm.
6th to July 8th. I also will say at the beginning of this, what we would consider summer, like around May, there is the New Orleans Jazz Fest, which is awesome. If you
Mhm.
haven't been, I strongly suggest you go. I have been. It was a blast when we went. I think it was Elton John was there.
Oh, really?
I believe Elton John was there. Ed Sheeran was there, and this was when Ed Sheeran was first like blowing
Really?
up.
Didn't he just
Um,
have a concert last night?
he did. He had a concert here. Um, and it was amazing. It was amazing. We had such a good time.
Mhm.
If you're into the Lollapalooza thing, that's in
Right.
August in Chicago. Like Chicago got a lot going on. June, July,
Yeah.
August. You can't beat it. So I mean, if you miss something in June, you can go in July. If you miss it in July, you can go ahead and go in August.
Right?
Again, headliners, Kendrick Lamar, Billie
He busy this
Eilish.
summer.
Yes, Red Hot Chili Pepper. I would
Yay.
go see Red Hot Chili
For
Pepper,
sure.
Lana Del Rey, but I can't see Red Hot Chili Peppers with Billie Eilish. Like when I like my festivals
It's a
that are
different vibe.
I like my festivals geared to a certain demographic. I can't do the mixed crowds. I just can't do it.
The vibe, it sets up the energy is different because you may be as hype, but then the other folks are like, "What is this?"
Right. I want a good Gen X. Just give me a good
Yes.
Gen X
Concert series.
concert series, and I mean with
Yes.
everybody.
That would
Like,
be dope.
yeah,
Like
and I'll take everybody. Foo Fighters,
yeah,
give me
Coldplay.
Coldplay, give me Red Hot Chili
Yeah.
Peppers, give me old school hip hop, give me that.
Mhm.
That's what I need in my life.
I'm surprised
Um,
they haven't done that yet.
well, they do bits and pieces of it, right? They have
Yeah,
the Rock the Bells tour, which is kind of like
true.
that.
Mhm.
LL has a tour series going on now, and then it's
Mhm.
like smaller little pockets. There's one Outside Lands Music and Arts Festival in San Francisco that is August the 11th through the 13th. Again, it's going to be the same people. So if you missed some of these people, you'll see them again. Kendrick Lamar, Foo Fighters,
So they're
Megan Thee
like all on the same
Stallion.
ticket, they're just at different festivals, it would seem, because it's the same group of folks.
Yeah, I think they just hop from, yeah, probably,
Yeah,
it's probably all managed by the same people. And they just like, okay, here are all the festivals that we manage.
right. Ooh,
Janelle Monáe,
yay, love
uh,
her.
we have the Montreal Jazz Fest, which is June 29th to July 8th. There's
Mhm.
multiple artists that will be there. I've heard that that is definitely a vibe, definitely something I'm going to try to put on my list of things to do in the near future. The Blue Note Jazz Festival, which is new, it's in Napa.
Napa.
It's July 28th to the 30th. I'm actually planning a girls trip for us next year there.
Whoop,
Because
whoop.
Napa is a key, so it's always a good time in Napa.
Mhm.
And then if you are more of an eclectic music type, Afropunk, which goes on August the 26th to the 27th. That's in Brooklyn, New York. There are various artists. It's a festival. It's an annual art festival that features music, film, fashion, and art. It is produced by alternative Black artists. It began in 2005 at the Brooklyn Academy of Music in New York. There's also something else I forgot we did not add. The family reunion
Oh,
at the
yeah, the black
Salamander
mhm.
in Middleburg, Virginia. It's from August the 17th to the 20th. If you got coins,
Yeah, it's already sold out, y'all.
it's already sold out. But if you got coins, this is definitely
Plural.
something to put on there just to give you a little idea of what you would be expecting to spend. And the Salamander is a very upscale resort. It is owned by
Yes.
Bob Johnson's ex wife. Um,
Mhm. And
so
she
it's
just
very,
acquired a new property in DC proper.
yes, she did. She bought over the Mandarin Oriental and has turned that
Mhm.
into another Salamander property.
Which is
Um,
amazing.
the overnight package, let me just give you this from Thursday, the 17th of August to Sunday, the 20th of August. It is a luxurious Forbes. Okay. They had to put the Forbes in there.
Mm.
5-star accommodation for 3 nights, a welcome reception cookout on Thursday, continental breakfast. Continental breakfast. I'm prefacing certain things because when I get to the price, you're gonna be like, bitch, you learn. Continental breakfast and family style lunch on Friday and Saturday, dinner events and afterglows. I'm assuming afterglows, I don't know, on Friday and Saturday. Your
Mhm.
choice of one breakout session on Friday and one breakout session on Saturday. Grand stage panels on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday service. This is single occupancy, $4,990.56. Double occupancy is $6,940.56. And we told you it is already
Points.
sold out.
Yes.
Okay.
That
If
is
you just wanted to
mm.
do an evening event pass where you welcome reception cookout on Thursday, and then the dinner events and afterglows on Friday and Saturday. It is $750 per guest. That is also sold out. Okay.
Is that all?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so I mean, hey, if you got the money and you want to
Yeah.
spend it, you could do that.
That's
You
at
can do that.
Hampton Oaks Bluff, Inkwell, regular attendee. I have a home up there. Uh, if you save for it, because it happens every year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you know, then you can already, if you would like to partake, start stacking your coins. But
Yeah,
I heard
because
it's
that's
lovely.
I heard it's lovely, but and here's the thing. If you like, well, I'll just stay in DC and drive. Don't do
Mm,
that.
don't do
Don't do that
that.
because it's not
Mm-mm.
worth it.
Nope.
It ain't gonna be worth it.
Nope.
Um,
You
I
need to
mean, I
go for
don't
the
know
event.
Middleburg. I'm pretty sure there are hotels in Middleburg that you could possibly stay at and then just come onto the property. But why would you
Yeah.
do that? Like, if you're
Mm,
going to do it, just give it the whole experience. Just give
yeah.
it your all and just say, you know what, this is my trip money for the year. I
Yeah.
ain't going
For
on
the
another trip. This is it. This will be all that I do. So yeah, so
yeah.
you know.
Oh, there was also the Clico uh
Oh, all
event
the
in New
Clico,
York.
yeah, the polo,
The polo
yes.
event. My cousins went there. They said they go every year because they live in Brooklyn. So per usual, it was lovely. The fascinators, the very chic attire. It was very nice. It was
Yeah, I
very
mean, they
well
have
lit.
like many kind of similar
Mm-hmm.
ones throughout the country. So if you're in a metropolitan area, I'm pretty sure you can find something similar if
Yeah.
New York isn't your speed.
They have one here in DC, in Virginia, that I've been to a couple
Mm-hmm.
times. That's really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's some nice stuff going on. There's also the concert series, summer concerts. I was talking to Z, and she was like, "Everybody's touring.
Everybody
Pretty
is touring.
everybody's everybody and their
Everybody.
mama is touring." This
Everybody is on tour. Literally.
right. So we got Beyonce, you
Yes.
know, and I'm waiting to hear back how that's going. Tony, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of lovely. Pink, Shania Twain, Ed Sheeran, of course, he performed last night, somewhere in DC, I
FedEx
think.
Field.
FedEx
Mm-hmm.
Field, right? Drake, which doesn't surprise me. Dave Matthews, Erica Badu, and Mos Def. And I know his name is something else
Yassine
now.
Bey.
Yassine Bey, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Diana Ross is going on tour.
Yes, I've seen that.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Alicia Keys. Then yeah, the Lionel Richie Earth, Wind and Fire farewell tour. I think for Lionel Richie. I think
It
might be
might be Earth,
his.
Wind, and Fire too,
Yeah, I
because
mean
a
they've been
lot of
on tour
their
forever.
yeah.
Like seriously, like forever. Um, Sting, which is always nice
Janelle
because
Monet.
yeah, Janelle Monáe. I would love to see that. And for all of y'all Gen Xers, John B.
Yep.
For those of y'all who don't know who that is, look him up.
Yep.
We just
Usher's
love
still
us.
on tour. Well,
Yo,
he's not on tour. Usher still has his
residents.
residency out in Vegas.
We might go
Bruno
to
Mars
that.
is touring.
Yeah, he's coming
Um,
to the
MGM
MGM
here
and
in
stuff.
in the DMV area. Sting. Um, it's somebody else I just saw that was touring. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, as you can see, Kendrick Lamar is hitting up the festival.
Clearly, him
He's
and
hitting up the
Megan, Foo
festivals.
Fighters, all
So
of them. So there's a
yeah,
lot of folks that Toby Nwege,
yeah,
I like him. His
I do
vibe is
too.
pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
So he's also going to be in the mix a little bit too on tour. So there's this thing with Live Nation ticket deals where you can like buy $25 for a concert series. Clearly, you're not going to see Megan Thee Stallion in that $25, but it allows you to explore other new emerging artists and the like. So
Yeah, they have their
yeah.
concert week, and it usually starts in May.
Mhm.
Um, and I wish I could pull it up. Um, but it's like they do it for a week, and then
Mhm.
it's like $25. And I mean, some of them you might find somebody that you like. Um, you know,
Or maybe not.
or
Maybe
maybe
it's just
not.
an exposure. Because I know one thing about being in DC when I used to live in the city, I do miss this, that I could just hop on the train and I would show up on the mall or show up in, at the market somewhere, and there'd always be, like, a little concert going on
Mm-hmm.
somewhere that you
Mm-hmm.
didn't expect, like, on the mall, and it may be free, or
Mm-hmm.
not, but it could be some folks that, it could be some big folks that they surprise you with
Yep.
and they don't plan it for, and you show up and you're like, "Oh, that's like music," or
Yep.
something to that effect, because you never
Yep.
know. And I do miss living in the city for that, because they have them little pockets all throughout the city, and if you just happen upon them,
Yep.
and just and exploring when you're outside, because summer concerts, because everybody's trying to be outside
But
anyway.
everybody's on tour.
Yes.
Like I just saw 50 Cent. Who
Oh,
the
he's
hell
on
goes
tour.
see? He's on tour. It's called the final what is it called? The final lap tour. Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, Too Short. They're on tour together.
Uh oh, too
Everybody's on
short.
tour. Everybody blow the whistle.
Ooh, doo, doo, blow the whistle. Doo,
Well,
doo.
so our producer said Babyface ain't,
Ain't.
and I mean that is a whole mess in and of itself.
Oh my
That
goodness.
whole Anita Baker,
What happened?
I don't know, but he was on tour and she kept calling him the side act or something. I'm like,
Oh,
Babyface is a whole man. Babyface is
wait.
a whole established artist. Don't do him like that.
Oh, she tried to play his face?
And honestly, Babyface don't need to second fiddle to nobody. To
He
be
should don't.
perfectly honest, he
He really
don't.
don't. He
He
can just
don't.
show up on his own. I've
But
seen him. I saw him in tour, and right, he went on right before um Destiny's Child or Beyonce, whoever it was Beyonce, and he was running through the crowd with his shirt off. I said, "Okay,
mm-hmm.
babyface, is that what we
Yeah.
doing?" But he
Listen,
clearly didn't need to be.
I was with you with that one, and yes, I was with
That's
you. He
what
was
was it? New
running through.
Edition? Where
Yeah, it
were
was New
we? It
Edition.
was
Yeah,
New
we were.
Edition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, "Is babyface running through the crowd without a shirt on?"
Yeah, he was running around like
Okay,
a. But
because
it was a bit much. But wait, so here I just saw some other people. Chicago is on tour.
really, Peter Cetera?
Yeah,
Oh,
Peter Gabriel is on tour. If you
all
into Peter
right.
Gabriel,
I love,
Fallout Boy. I mean, I'm taking it back to the '90s, early
yeah.
2000s. Duran Duran is on
What?
tour. So
Flex, reflex.
Matchbox 20. I like Matchbox 20.
Yes, I
If
do.
you
That's
like
Three Doors Down, and then it's that's the same
Nickelback
era
is
as
on
like Three Doors
tour.
Down. Who?
Yeah, Nickelback.
Okay.
uh Eric Church if you're into like country.
Uh huh.
I think Eric Church is country.
We could maybe he is. Eric Church, if your country, let us know.
Yeah, so like I say, everybody and their mama on tour.
Right, right, right.
Uh oh, there's a summer block party presents Jodeci and SWV. So if you
What?
into that, yes,
Are they
that's in
still on their
July.
show? The SWV show and the SWV and Escape.
Girl, I don't know. Don't give me the line. Don't give me the line. So like we said, there's a lot going on. So for concerts. So
Yeah.
if you're in the DMV area, or you plan on being, if you live in the DMV area or you plan on being in the DMV area at some point during this summer, there's quite a few things
Mm-hmm.
that are family friendly and free. We have the Capitol Pride has already passed.
Right.
That was at the beginning of June. Awesome Con Pass. It was June 16th to the 18th. The
Mm-hmm.
Home Rule Music Festival, which was June 16th to the 17th, and it's on the 24th. They have some go-go bands there. There's a free afternoon of food, family fun, and outdoor music. It is definitely something to do if you're looking again to do something that's free. The Solstice Saturday, which passed, which was June 24th. That is at the Smithsonian Institute.
Mm-hmm.
The Giant National Capital Barbecue Battle, which this weekend, the 24th to the 25th. There is something that you were going to speak to specifically, but there's because there's something that looks like a little duplicate. I'll mention it. The National
Mm-hmm.
Book Festival, which is where I work. I
Yes.
work at the Library of Congress, and every year we have a National Book Fest. The National Book
Mm-hmm.
Festival is a blast for families. Everybody should come. I generally work there. I refuse to do it this year because I got COVID last year from working at the book
Oh.
festival. You won't catch me this time. So I usually, and then I usually will do like author escort. So they set me up with an author, and I will
Mm-hmm.
escort them to and from their their stage where they're speaking.
How does
Um,
that work? How is it set up? Because I know it's like over the weekend, or it's just during the day.
it's one day, so they
Right.
use so it's and it's at the convention center in DC
Mm-hmm.
now. So basically, they stagger. Like it's just like a festival, right? There are main stages. There are people
Oh,
that people
okay.
actually are going to are clamoring to see. Like last year was like Janelle Monáe because she had a
Mhm.
book. Nick Offerman, Leslie Jordan, which was sad because he
Mm.
come and then he winds up passing away not too long after the book
Mhm.
festival. They
Mhm.
all came to promote their books, and those are big names. And usually, what's her name? Carla, the woman that's a chef.
Oh, yeah, who's on those shows?
Yeah, she sometimes is there promoting her book or
Mhm.
promoting something. And usually, those author escorts, the people who get to escort them are usually people with a little bit more pull and clout in the library,
Right.
because they're
Got
usually
it.
going to have to be with the librarian.
Oh.
So usually that's the people who get those. You know, I've escorted, and they try to pair you, like the people who run it try to pair you with somebody that they think would give you would be interested in.
Mhm.
That's what they did last year. The year I've had a kids author, which was
Mhm.
nice, and I bought Charlie. I actually wound up getting Charlie the book that
Oh.
I from the author that I escorted. It's called They Saw a Cat or I Saw a Cat. And then one year I did a young adult author,
Mhm.
and she was really nice. Last year I did a woman who wrote a book. It's Black Girl Sew.
Oh.
Yeah, so I escorted her and to her, like, they did a panel where people were asking them questions, and it's
Mhm.
just very interesting. So if you are a book nerd or a bookie, or just want to have something for the kids to do, they usually have a lot of stuff for kids there as well. It's definitely something to it's a key.
Mhm.
um it,
Something that I think people need to actually, embrace now, because I don't know, most people just read everything on social media and that's it.
mhm.
Like, it doesn't go beyond comprehension, which kind of shows up in how people talk
Yeah,
or not talk.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh,
and
absolutely.
it's very apparent that people don't read as
They don't.
much
They
at
don't.
all, because everything is like microwave. TMZ tells you what you want to hear to an extent. I mean, it's, if you watch the news, fine, but anything knowledge to gain additional knowledge, like we did growing up,
Mhm.
it was nothing for us to be like, go on a trip and read a book, or us, for us to read something on the train to work,
Mhm.
but nowadays you don't see that. Even when they had the Kindle, with the Kindle and stuff like that, and your iPad, folks still don't read, and it just shows up in how they articulate themselves or not articulate themselves,
I mean, I agree. I definitely agree with that. And like I said, with the book festival, it definitely has something for everybody: fiction, nonfiction, young
Mhm.
adult, cooking, politics,
Yeah.
poetry, graphic novels,
Oh, yeah.
comics, anything you could think of. It's going to be there.
Mhm.
And then some of it will be live streamed. So if you can't make it, I would say try to live stream it just to see if it'd be something you would be interested in bringing your
Mhm.
family to. It is on August the 12th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Um, it's free. And then there's an actual bookstore a makeshift bookstore that they create
Mhm.
within the convention center for you
Oh,
to
okay.
come and purchase the books from the authors that are actually there. And then once the author actually gives their talk,
Mhm.
we would navigate them to their signing area where they would go and
Oh,
sign
yeah.
copies of their books.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's really uh it's a good time. It's a good time. It definitely is a good time. So if you can
I
make it,
definitely would like
definitely
to
make it.
go.
Yeah.
And there's one also in Baltimore, isn't there?
Oh,
A
that
b
I don't know.
Oh,
I just
okay.
know about the national one because it is national
Mhm.
and it's like sponsored generally like by Target and stuff like that. So it's
Right.
it's Wells Fargo. So it's a key. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. And also, to the graphic novels, there's also Awesome Con that just passed, which is for the Comic-Con and, the graphic novel enthusiasts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
And you could do
um
Comic Con too if that's
mhm.
something that's definitely something that
I really
I
wanna
have on
go
my
and dress
bucket
up as
list.
somebody. I'm not really sure,
Well,
who, whatever festival that is. Is it Comic-Con where you get to
You
dress
c-
up?
well, Comic Con you can, but Comic Con is also just not all comics. Like, well,
Yeah.
it is, but it's like like they'll you can go there, and like the last time they had like the Marvel, they
Mhm.
basically laid out like the, I forgot how they call it, but like the installments of how they're going to roll out all of these new Marvel
Mhm.
shows, movies,
Yeah,
and
in the
all of that.
universe and
Yeah, the Marvel universe. So I definitely want to go, and I found a way that I could probably go
uh-uh.
because of I work for the library, but I got to figure that out. Heather told me about it, but I got to follow back up with her about how to do it.
Nice.
But yeah,
Those are always fun. I think,
yeah,
do something new this summer. But I think the
yeah.
one in Baltimore was is like focused on black authors. But I
Oh,
can't
okay,
remember what
okay.
time of year that is, but we'll let y'all know later. But look it up. Black author bookshelves, book festivals throughout, because there's some also specific to different states, because they have another one like film festival in Texas, in
Mm-hmm.
Houston, specifically for, excuse me, black artists from Houston. Excuse me. So with all of that, there's also, you got to think about the family outings. So obviously, the National Book Festival is a great way for the entire family to be involved. But if we want to, this is not necessarily just for families, because I do know there's some adults that enjoy amusement parks. I myself love them. I haven't been to one in years, but we do know there's adult enthusiasts for all types of amusement parks. But if you're bringing your family, I hope you take out a loan, because these amusement parks, the cost of entry for some of these places is ridiculous. That's pretty much your whole vacation money. But there's Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, and they're known for their 70 plus rides and world class roller coasters. I think at one point it was like the number one amusement park in the world. At some point, this was years ago. There's Knott's Berry Farms if you wanted something a little bit more intimate for the toddlers, and it's near Anaheim in California. And started as like a small berry farm in like the 1920s, and it's still up and running. Um, so there's some large theme park features, but it's still kind of intimate, and there's unique rides and attractions. Kennywood, me and Reef know about that. It's in West Mifflin, but as far as we're concerned, it's in the Burg. It's in Pittsburgh. I think we've all gone to Kennywood at some point when we were in school, maybe during the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at any point and stayed a significant amount of time there, you
yeah,
probably.
you probably went, and that's very family oriented as well. Good for the little ones. They have firework parties and parades, food festivals. Those are different events they host throughout the year. I think they also do like kind of like with Six Flags. They do like the haunted things as well around
Mm-hmm.
Halloween and whatnot. And of course, there's a big money maker, Walt Disney World. If you are patronizing Florida now, if with everything going on, I probably am still I'm team Mickey right now. So I probably would patronize Disney World, Universal Studios, Harry Potter, all those, exhibits. They have one for like I think Universal Studios does oh no, it's Disney that does the Marvel rides now too, that are positioned throughout the park and what have you. And Disney World has so many different parks. So depending, and it's their 100-year anniversary this year, if I'm remembering correctly. So sometimes they have some deals, so you may not have to spend all of your coins going to
Right.
Disney World and stuff. So check it out. I love Disney World, and then there's Disneyland in LA and Universal Studios as well in LA. Been to both, very nice, and Disney World in Tokyo and stuff like that. So there's a number of ways for you
Paris.
to Paris. Yes, there's a number of ways you can experience Mickey throughout the global landscape this year
Yes.
and
And then
stuff.
we have you also there's a park that I didn't even know we had here. It's in Monrovia, Maryland. If we're in
Hmm.
this area, it's called Adventure Park USA. I have
Oh
not
yeah,
been,
you did say that.
but it is on the list of things to do with the little. There's
Hmm.
Dutch Country
Dutch.
Wonderland.
Hmm.
If you That's a little further out, it's in Pennsylvania. Of course, Sesame Place.
Yes.
If you want to go further south, of course you have King's Dominion. But I
Hmm.
don't think Busch Gardens gets enough love.
Right. I
I think
mean,
King's
yeah.
Dominion
Kings.
takes over, but Busch Gardens, I've had a time in Busch Gardens, and there's
Really.
Water Country USA
Hmm.
there as well, Williamsburg, Virginia.
Hmm.
So you could make a whole weekend out of it. Go to Williamsburg, Virginia. go
Mhm.
see what it was like to live during
Those
those
days.
times. Yeah, okay, sure.
Sure.
But if
The
you want to do the Williamsburg thing, you can. But then there's Butch Wonderland. I mean, Busch Garden, and then Water Country USA. And then Water Country USA is a totally separate park. It's a water theme park, and you
Uh-huh.
can spend all day there as well, just in the water. So, um, if the theme park, water park thing isn't your jam, but you still want to do family outings, beaches are always a good idea. The
Mhm.
East Coast beaches, I think, further south you go, the beaches get better, of
Yes.
course.
Water
So,
gets clearer.
the water gets a bit clearer. If you're in this area, which is the DMV area, Dewey Beach is great. We go there every year. It's
Mhm.
right. It's basically Rehoboth.
Okay.
The reason why we go to Dewey is because there's no boardwalk, so it's more family oriented, and the people that are there
Oh.
usually are living in those. There's houses there,
Mhm.
or they're vacationing,
Mhm.
so they're there. They come out of their condo or their little townhome or their home, and they come straight to the beach.
So it's
So
not touristy as
it's
much.
not very touristy.
Okay.
Where Rehoboth has the boardwalk, so you're going to get a whole lot of different people there,
Right.
and it's a little quieter. So we love Dewey.
What was there? There was one I saw on the way to Delaware yesterday when we went out of town. Is it Sandy Point? Is that what it's called?
Sandy Point is not.
Not Sandy
Sandy
Point.
Point is here.
Right, right. But I saw it like going towards, but that I've never noticed it. I think our producer had mentioned it at some
Sandy
point.
Point is special. It's not a beach. It's
What is
it's
it?
it's a beach, but it's off the bay, so it's not the
Oh,
ocean,
okay.
and that's very special as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just saw it
um,
like when I was driving. I was like, oh, that's where it is. I didn't realize it was
yeah,
that close.
it is very close. Yeah.
Okay.
You have Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. They have areas that stretch along a full 60-mile coastline.
Mm-hmm.
Hilton Head, South Carolina, Amelia Island in Florida. It's part of the Sea Islands chain of barrier islands. It's among the most popular for kids due to its sand dunes and beautiful resorts. That's on the other side of
Mm.
Florida. So not on like the Jacksonville side of Florida. It's on like the Key
Oh,
West side of Florida.
okay.
The Outer Banks,
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina. A lot of people go there. Florida has a lot of good. If you're patronizing Florida, like Destin is a good destination now. If you don't want to do the Miami crowd, if you're doing more like the family thing,
Mm-hmm. And you don't
those
want
are
to see
definitely
fake everything walking around the city.
right.
Mm.
Yes, so those are definitely on the East Coast. Definitely popular family beaches. I don't really know about the left coast. I mean, people just go to the left coast and just go to the beach, like
Right.
because that's what it is. It's a coastal state. So you're going to be able to find places like
Mm-hmm.
um, and I haven't visited enough of those beaches to really give you like the rundown. But those are definitely the ones that we gave you are definitely popular family beaches to go to.
Cool
Um,
beans.
so that's pretty much it in
I
terms
did
of
want to do like some honorable mentions.
okay, sure.
Yes. So for some wine festivals that are
Oh yes,
happening.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So there's one called the Summer Sip Fest, which is kind of local. It's in the at the Laurel Racetrack in the DMV area. There's one in Columbia, Summer Salsa Wine Tasting. And then there's one in Philly called Black Oak Summer Wine Festival. It's the second year that they've had it featuring Black owned and local businesses. And that's in Philly from August 5th. 12 to 7. So it's their second year. Check it out. Black Oak Wine Club. And then, of course, for those of us in this area, there's all the festivals in the Liga Nor Reggae Festival. There's always one every single weekend. There's a Black Women Who Wine in Charlottesville, Virginia. That's in August 18th. And there's a lot of like women whining type of summer festivals. So
Because we need to get drunk.
hey, us
We need to
aunties.
drink our troubles
Thank
away.
you,
God
thank you,
damn.
thank you. That part, that part.
Yeah.
There's a
The world's
Italian,
so heavy.
got that part. So Italian summer solstice garden wine, and that's in Lancaster. If you're out there, you know, planning to patronize the Amish as well. But yeah, that's just a few to give a quick shout out, within the area of sorts. And there's a puppy yoga fit summer fest that has some that is at a winery, and that's in New Jersey for the pet lovers in the world. If you want to go and drink and bring your pet, there is a place for you. Just so you know. But yeah, so those are some highlights, honorable mentions for the summer. Um, for you to enjoy and get your drink on.
Yes, and I'll say, even though we've given you some of these, and well, we've given you a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and some of these we kind of went through pretty quickly. You can always cultivate your summer if you choose to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I to definitely feel like life is short, so we all should be out enjoying everything that we possibly can,
Amen.
as often as we can and as much
Mm.
as we can. So if you have it in you, okay, you don't have the funds,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you can just do. Facebook is a great resource to go to find out what free events. There's always something.
Yeah.
I find out about events because somebody that I'm friends with likes something or says they're going to something, and I'm like, and then it pops up in my timeline. I'm like, oh, they're going to this. What's this about? Let
Mm-hmm.
me check this out. And it's something that's free, or it's something that's low, um, has a low cost associated with it. There's a lot of state festivals, state fairs that you can go to. Every state has a fair. And if
Yeah.
you're in, I mean, luckily for most of us, we live close to where the state fairs are generally held.
Yeah.
Um, so I definitely suggest like trying to do that. There's always carnivals that pop up every
Mm-hmm.
every summer for kids to go to. I feel like we really need to get back to being outside during the summer. A lot
Yes.
of us tend to get um, comfortable with being in the house,
Yeah.
especially after the pandemic. And then, something that was brought to my attention, but this is actually a couple of times where we in America have been conditioned to be afraid of everything, be afraid of crowds, be afraid to go out
Yeah.
alone. And it's not that way for other countries and other
Mm-hmm.
people in other nations.
Right.
There's not a fear of being in a mass shooting or
Yeah.
a, you know uh,
So true.
something terrible happening because you're enjoying yourself. And
Right.
unfortunately, this we've gotten to that point. Like we can't even go to the movies without being fearful of,
Right.
you know what I
To the
mean? But I
mall.
feel like
Just.
again, we need to kind of take back our, I don't know, just take back our summers, take back our lives,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of fight back in a sense, fight
Yeah.
back with the fear and the anxiety of just being out because it's,
Side.
you know, we are now faced with a very new epidemic, and it is an epidemic of loneliness. I read this somewhere
Yes.
where a lot of people are lonely, and there's difference between being alone and being lonely. There are people
Yes.
who are alone that are not lonely, and there are people who are with people, have groups, and they are lonely.
Yep.
And there's lonely for a lot of different reasons. I saw this woman on TikTok, I think it was, and she was talking about how she's been touch deficient, like she hasn't been touched. And people are like, oh, well, just go out, I'll give you a hug. And it's not being hugged
Yeah.
by some random person. It's being hugged or touched by someone who genuinely loves you and wants to embrace you. We've like really have gotten far away from
Mm-hmm.
center, and it's unfortunate.
It
And so
is.
hopefully with this particular episode, we've given you some sunshine and some
Yes.
things to look forward to for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you were thinking, I'm not going to do anything this summer. My funds are a little low, and I'm doing this because if there's a recession, they may not have said it
Right.
fully, but there's a full ass recession out there and an inflation. We're
Mm-hmm.
all feeling it. I don't care how much money you make.
Thank
We
you.
all are feeling it. And you may be like, I can't afford it. And, I'm telling you, there are free events that you
Yeah.
can do.
In the city.
Please go out and just enjoy it and try to do it. Most cities have free summer events for their citizens to participate
Mm-hmm.
in.
Those are
Um,
sometimes the best, honestly.
yeah,
Because you
I
just
feel
go
like
with the flow.
some of my best times have been when I just was like, oh, let's go to this free event
Yeah.
and see
Mm-hmm.
what's what. Um, it doesn't cost a lot to have fun. It doesn't
No.
cost a lot to put a
Mm-hmm.
smile on your face. Just going to get ice cream. If you're in this area, the DMV area, my husband's brother actually owns an ice cream shop
Mm-hmm.
in DC off of Georgia Avenue. It's called Everyday Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday is spelled Sundae. So
Mm-hmm.
that is definitely something. And he has a good program that just started there. Not even a program. It's just like this pay it forward thing that somebody came in and gave him extra money to pay for somebody else's ice cream. And then it just kept going. And then it got news
Nice. It
attention,
did.
open
I
news
saw it on
attention.
our local
And
news.
I think it's just really dope that, you can have community based,
Yeah.
um, you know,
There's a departure from that.
businesses. Yes, businesses. We don't have that anymore, and
Mm-mm.
especially not in this area.
Yeah.
In the DC area, there seems to be a lack of community based businesses.
Yes. I agree.
And I think that that's important. So maybe support your local community businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try a new restaurant.
Yeah.
Doing stuff for this summer doesn't, or doing stuff during the summer doesn't take like, a lot. I know the aesthetics of social media make you feel like you have, when you outside, you really
Yes.
got to be outside. You got to be jet skiing and,
Mm-hmm.
laying by a beach or, sipping margaritas by the poolside. And that
Mm-hmm.
necessarily isn't the case. You know what I mean? You go to your community center and sit at the pool, you know what I mean? And have a good time with the family. It doesn't take a lot. I
Yeah.
just really want us to all to
Be
just be
present.
mindful and focus and present this summer. I want people to really enjoy their lives this summer and
Mm-hmm.
just take in just the beauty, because it's been a shit show, and
Yeah.
it's going to be a shit show because we're coming up upon elections,
Ooh,
and
girl.
this AI technology,
Ooh.
and it's just a lot. And I want us all to take care of our mental health, um
Yes, please. We need
because
some
we
vitamin D, and that helps with
yes,
that.
yes, it absolutely does. A lot of us suffer from a lot of depression and
Mm-hmm.
anxiety when it gets cold, right? Because we're shut in. And
Yeah.
so it's just like we're not really in touch with what's going on around us in a physical way, right?
Right.
But I don't think people realize that a lot of people struggle during these warmer months because you have I'm missing out on something.
Yes. FOMO.
I'm not where I'm at right now, so I can't enjoy these things.
So well
And you see,
put. That's a really good point.
yeah.
Because
And you
based on
see
what you
people,
see.
yeah, having fun and going on vacations and living, this lavish life. And then it's just like you feel like you are missing out. And
Right.
then that makes you depressed. And so then you don't go outside. And then it's just a whole cycle. And I just really want people to really just take care of themselves
Mm-hmm.
this summer the best way they can.
Please.
Live the best life you can. Just takes a little click of a keyboard and you can find something that's low cost or free in
Mm-hmm.
your local area. I just really want us all to do that. And
And
that
don't wait
actually,
till, I get to this point. Don't wait till I can fit into my bikini. I don't wait till I look
right,
like this in X, Y, and Z.
right.
Really embrace it. Go outside, absorb some sun. It'll really just give you another perspective of just being,
Mm-hmm.
because I know when I was primarily in the house like almost 4 years, and being outside, I'm like, wow, this is nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
It makes a difference on it really makes a different impacts your mental health on different levels,
it does.
and encourage your friends, and even just to take a walk and go and sit at the park. It's simple as that, just to be outside.
Yeah, you could even do that. That's an outdoor activity you could
Yeah.
do. Create a little picnic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Put a little picnic basket together. Go out to the park with your kids with the ball, and just let
Yes.
them run around. And you just
Simple.
sit there and read your favorite book. It really doesn't take a lot. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But I just want that for you all this summer. I really do.
Mhm.
And that actually is going to be the last sip of tea. So we can just go ahead and close this episode.
All right now. Hey. So, with that, where to find us on Sipping Tea, Nat Z _pod. I think I'm saying it wrong because I don't have it really in front of me, but y'all know where it is. And we're on Facebook, Sipping Tea, Nat Z. And for posts and updates and teas and all that type of stuff. So, enjoy your summer. Be safe. Step into something and try something out that you didn't before. There's street festivals, and be thankful for where you are and that you have the opportunity to be outside, to embrace it, because before you know it, it's about to be July, y'all. So, I mean, for real, it's about to be July. So go out and enjoy yourself and just be safe. So, have fun.
See you next episode.
Toodles.